Antum binti Muhammad Mokhtar and all my friends. Today our group will present chapter 6, Quantitative Strategic Planning Matrix, and I am first presenter. My name is Muhammad Hadif bin Rizaludin. First of all, Quantitative Strategic Planning Matrix or QSPM. QSPM is a ranking strategy. To achieve the prioritized list, there are only one analytical technique in the literature design to determine the relative attractiveness of feasible alternative actions. The QSPM also, which comprises stage 3 of the strategy formulation analytical framework. This technique is objectively indicated to determine which alternative strategy are the best. So from that we know that the Quantitative Strategic Planning Matrix or QSPM is a high-level strategic management approach for evaluating possible strategy. And the QSPM also provide an analytical method for the comparing feasible alternative action. Next, we will go to why go for the Quantitative Strategic Planning Matrix. So why we go to the QSPM is because QSPM approach attempt to objectively select the best strategy using the input from the other management technique and some easy computations. Besides, the QSPM also use the method input from the stage 1 analysis and matches from them with the result from stage 2 analysis, and then decide objectively among alternative strategy which one the alternative strategy is the best and suitable.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So my name is Muhammad Hazib Bahirudin, and I will explain the step of developing the quantitative strategic planning matrix. So for the first step is we make a list of the firm's key external opportunities and traits, and the internal, which is the strength and the weakness. So next we assign weight of to each key, which is the external and internal factors, and we examine the stage 2 matrices and identify the alternative strategies that the organization should consider to implementing. And next we determine the attractiveness score. So for the score 1 is considered as not attractive, 2 for somewhat attractive, 3 reasonably attractive, and 4 is highly attractive. For the step 5, we compute the total attractiveness score by multiple the weight and the attractiveness score. And the last step is we compute the sum of the total attractiveness score, and the higher the score, it indicates the more attractive of the strategies. Okay, next is the illustration for quantitative strategic planning matrix for retail computer store. So for the step 1 is internal audit, which is the internal factor environment matrix, and external audit, which is EFE matrix. So in internal factors environment, which is the strength and weakness, which is that are used as a key internal factor in the evaluation. So when looking for the strength, ask what do you do better and have more valuable than your competitor have. So in case of the weakness, ask which areas of your company you could improve and at least catch up with your competitors. So next is the external audit, EFE matrix, which is the external factor environments. So when using the external factor environment matrix, we identify the key external opportunities and traits that are affecting or might affect a company. So where do we get these factors from? So it's simply by analyzing the external environment. So next is step 2. So in step 2, we formulation of alternative strategies using SWOT. So we are using strength, weakness, opportunities and trait to formulate the alternative strategies. And the last one is step 3, which is the quantitative strategic planning matrix formulation and the recommendation.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Badi'uzzaman bin Muhammad Hussein. I am the last presenter for my group. I will continue for rule of QSPM. The rule is if a particular factor affect one strategy and not other than, it affect the choice. So the attractiveness score should be recorded for both strategy. Second is scores in a row is never duplicate. Next is QSPM is always prepared row wise. The last one is if there is more than one strategy in QSPM, then attractiveness score can range. The score can range from 1 to number of strategies being evaluated. Next, there are some pros and cons of QSPM. The pros is set of strategies considered simultaneously or sequentially. Second is integration of pertinent external and internal in the decision-making process. The last pros is the QSPM can be developed for small and large-scale profit and non-profit of organization. The cons of QSPM is can be only as good as the prerequisite input. Next is require intuitive judgment and assumption. The last is only strategies in a given set evaluate relative to each other. That's all from me. Thank you.